Greetings, chat. I'm a little bit late today. Apparently, my wife has forgot the water running. So when we watered the lawn, she actually forgot the faucet on. And I found out today, and I was like, Jesus, water is expensive. It's best if I listen to Captain Planet. And if I turn it off. All right, how's the sound coming on? Because I tested it before the stream, and the microphone should be fine, right? Is the audio spoofed? It is spoofed. Hold on, let me unspoof it. Let me unspoof the audio. Okay, is it better now? Can you guys hear me? I think it's better. I brought it closer to my mouth. Apparently, if I leave the volume too loud, then you guys can hear the fan of the computer. Okay, it's still too low? Alright, well fine, I'll raise it a little bit. How is it now? Is it still spoofed? I hope it's not spoofed. Chat, tell me. Is it too low or is it fine? Huh? Alright, well, I think we can use it like this. I need to buy one of those microphones that has an ear that Twitch streamers get. And they start licking it. They lick it. And the people in the audience, they hear the licks. I have it on good authority that there's going to be another crackdown on the ASMR streams. Like, I generally don't understand, though. Are there, like, people out there who are monitoring the internet and they're finding, okay, well, this community has people that are happy and they're just doing their thing. It is time for us to impose our will on them. It's kind of weird, right? And then you have, like, rap songs that are all about doing drugs and shooting bitches and stuff. No one touches them. Like, those are fine. But, like, you find the community, what? Like, some girl does ASMR, and Sargon can't sleep at night because she makes $1 million. And Sargon is like, no, how is this possible? She's a woman. She's doing the same thing I'm doing. She's speaking in front of a microphone, but I don't like it. It must not exist. And then they do lobby. And Visa and MasterCard cracks down. No, but like seriously, like out of all the degeneracy on the internet, like isn't ASMR the weakest one? Like let me put it this way, you know, you have God sending the Archangel Michael into your bedroom, and like there you open your eyes and Michael is there. And Michael tells you, look, I will make a deal on behalf of the Lord. I will end all the degeneracy on the internet. Everything is going to be gone. But we need to keep one. Like, there needs to be, like, one degeneracy that still stays, but everything else goes away. Wouldn't it be, like, the ASMR that you'd pick? Like, literally the most harmless one out of the bunch. Right? Wouldn't it be like that? I'm like, okay, well, fine. Just... did Visa and MasterCard say anything about Roblox? Well, funny that you mentioned it. Like, apparently. And I'm not the only one, because at first I thought, you know, maybe I'm boring. Maybe I'm not what I used to be. You know, I used to be a legend in my time, but now I'm not. And so maybe people just don't want to listen to me talk about it. But no, apparently, any video that I make on the subject doesn't get like 20% less views or 30% less views. No, it gets like 80% less views. Like, I actually checked in the entire history of my channel, I have never got a video with 2,000 views since 2020. Like, for 5 years, I have never got a video that only got 2,000 views. And the only reason it got that is because I talked about Roblox, right? So I talked about Roblox immediately. Now, I was like, okay, well, maybe it's just me, you know? It happens, right? It happens. But then I found out, oh, no, wait, Chibi Reviews is experiencing the same things. Like, he talks about Roblox, and all of a sudden, that video gets killed. Legal Mindset talks about Roblox, video gets killed. Another guy, I forgot his name, I think it's Spiritus or some shit like that, an anime commentator, talks about Roblox, video gets killed. Tim Pool comes out, and he says the same, and it's like, okay, well, at this point, I am not going to allow myself to be gaslit by the community to say that it is because of my face or the way that I am handling the subject. No. And yesterday, apparently, there was a YouTuber that actually got banned, right? Like, not banned. He got the video taken down because he talked about Roblox. Now, here's my take. There's two possibilities. Number one, when talking about the subject, people are triggering the bots, right? Like how do the bots operate on YouTube? Well, they listen for keywords, right? And usually if you talk about kitties, and then later on you talk about molestation, right? Like the bot gets triggered. Now the bot doesn't know if you're in favor or against. Like the bot just knows that the topic is being mentioned, and so like it suppresses, right? And this is why like a lot of videos that were against diddling also got banned by YouTube. Because like, again, the bot doesn't know on which side you are. You're talking about diddling. And so like if it doesn't know, it assumes that you're for it in order to protect the company, right? Like the company cannot risk being seen as having channels promoting that. And so whenever it's like there's that type of controversy, boom, crackdown. Now, with that out of the way, the other possibility is that they legitimately want to protect the blocks of Raw. And they may want to protect it because, well, it's a big company. Maybe money changes hands. Maybe they don't want some of the policies that would be proposed in order to stop it. I don't fucking know. V. Cursing in his native language as ASMR. When you pay me, of course. You gotta pay me more than $2. Like, I'm not cursing in my main language for more than $2. Because I'm not even getting $2. Like, first of all, I get $1 because YouTube takes a cut. And then out of that $1, the Romanian government takes half. So in reality, I get like 50 cents. I'm not cursing for 50 cents. I'm sorry. Especially now that the ban hammers are flying and, you know, they're looking after ASMR. It's like, no. We're talking about the blocks of Row, SRC Maker. Yes. I noticed that the American legislators, like, they want to push for the ID legislation because the blocks of Row is too dangerous. I see. Can I curse in videos? Yes, actually, you can. So, the reason that you couldn't curse in the original videos is that if you said fuck in the first 5 seconds, that's when the first commercial would pop up, right? So, like, you'd have the banner commercial, and apparently advertisers didn't want to have their brand associated with the word motherfucker. Right? So, like, you say motherfucker, and underneath it was Coca-Cola. And so, like, the brands didn't want that. But now the way the advertisement works is that they have an AI, and the AI basically places the brands where it's appropriate, right? So, like, now you can curse. A lot of people don't understand, like, they think YouTube works in mysterious ways. It doesn't. Like, there's reasons behind all of the horseshit, except for one. Naked yoga channels. Like, why must yoga be done naked? And it's obvious what those ladies are doing. Again, like, people who pick on the ASMR don't know what else is there. You have these channels on YouTube, like pure pornography. Well, not necessarily pornography. It's like, in my opinion, in my head, pornography is penetration. That's more like not safe for work, right? Like nudity. Like, there's a difference between nudity and porn in my brain. But anyway, right? You have like these Indian ladies, and they do yoga. And the camera like literally zooms in on the lips. Not the ones on the mouth, the other ones. Right? It's like, it's good kappa. I don't get it. Like, at that point, like, why not just have other versions of pornography? Like, why stop there? I generally don't understand. Softcore. Yeah, erotica is not porn. Yeah, I agree. Like, I'm not going to freak out if my teenage son, which is 17 years old, is going to watch Miss July catalog, okay? Like, I'm not going to spurg out as much. Now, if I find out he's a furry, then that would be a different conversation. They're mostly Californians? How do you know? Harby. Like, don't tell me that you're a subscriber. By the way, like, if you're a VTuber and you do naked yoga, is that okay? So, like, that would be interesting. Like, if they ban you for doing it in real life, like, if they don't ban you for doing it in real life, like, you're allowed as a woman to show your naked tits and pussy on camera, but if you draw that, then you get banned. I would love to see how that works. I wouldn't encourage anyone to try it, though. Billy Aoki. Thank you for, like... What is SGD, though? It's not Swedish kroners. Chat, what currency is SGD? Does S stand for social? Here's another 50 cents. You know what? I'm going to give you a heart. There we go. I gave your super chat a heart. No one else got. Not even SRC Baker. Not even she got a heart from me on the super chat. Anyway, the woman is hot. Also, that's how it works. Like, if you're hot, you get away with things. I suppose. Singapore dollars. Oh, from Singapore. That's kind of cool. Don't you guys like have legislation to fuck with the commies? I think like Singapore does that, right? Like you have like laws that actually fight communism. Anyway. It's more than 50 cents? Really? They're rich? Are they like the merchant faction of Earth? Huh? Like if you play Civilization with Singapore, do you manage to become the merchant faction? The multiversal. Is there any chance to avoid the censorship we are going to have in America? Maybe the First Amendment. No, because the First Amendment was actually, sorry, like this issue was actually pushed into the Supreme Court with the First Amendment, right? And Americans were cheering when Pornhub got owned. So yeah, like these robust age verification things initially were done against Pornhub. There were two organizations that were pushing for it. One of them was NCOSE. They used to be called Morality in Media. A very right-wing, evangelical type of group that was funded, I believe, in the 70s, right? And they were called Morality in Media. And again, like they believe any type of thing that arouses is pornography, and so it must be destroyed. And they had this crusade against stuff in the media that they didn't like. They even went after Amazon because like Amazon was selling a gift wrapper that was saying, "Who's your daddy?" And, you know, they viewed that as incest. Anyway, they're the ones that push for this. They rebranded. They're not Morality in Media anymore. They're the National Center of Sexual Exploitation. And again, like they define sexual exploitation to be as anything that has sex, like even drawings, anything. And so they rebranded to sound more scientific and more, I guess, like in line with 2025. And they're the ones that push for this. And the other one was Exodus Cry, right? So like these two groups, they went after Pornhub. They made a list called the Dirty Dozen. Steam is also on the list. And people were cheering. Like I saw on Twitter, a lot of right-wingers, they were really happy when the Supreme Court said, actually, age verification laws are not against free speech because, like, you have a right to be heard, but there are certain things that children shouldn't be forced to listen, and therefore, age verification is fine, right? Now, again, most people don't have a problem with the age verification per se. And the porn industry was like, okay, why don't we make phones or devices and you lock it at the device level? So, like, you have phone for kids, and when the kids buy those phones, they literally cannot access websites or places that aren't for them, right? Like parental controls, basically. And the government went, no, we're not going to do that because we need to give money to the companies that you're going to dox yourself for. And so that's where we are. So to answer your question, is free speech going to prevent a law like COSA from passing in the United States? Absolutely not, right? Like they don't view that age verification or you doxing yourself has anything to do with free speech. Did you try naming the video something like a game where adults and teens can mingle to get around the bots? Asked Jacob. I don't think that works anymore. Like, that used to work back in the day when technology didn't have AI. Now, if you put a video of mine into Gemini, right? So you go to Google Gemini or ChatGPT or anything you want, actually. And you take the link of a video of mine and you put it there and you ask the bot, like, tell me what's in the video. It's going to describe to you exactly what I'm talking about. It's going to say even the mood that I'm putting. Like, is it sarcastic? Am I angry? Am I happy? Like, everything, right? And so, like, simply changing the title now or using euphemisms doesn't work. Like, even if you say the koof now in 2025, like, the algorithm will know exactly what you're talking about. So the next time there's going to be a mass censorship, whether there's something like the pandemic, or whether there's something like a war, or anything that requires the mass censorship of people, you will not be able to get around it with euphemisms. Like, it just won't happen. Anyway, SRC Baker. V, this is from Quinn. A big conversations about furries with your son, that's rich. The man making a hentai game about succubies is drawing the line at Fox costume. The hypocrisy is so thick that you could cut it from the knife. I don't view it as hypocrisy. Like, I don't think that my son should be aware of the video games or the type of content that I'm making, right? Until he is 18. Like, once my son is an adult, like, of course he can know the family's heritage. I mean, look, my dad never told me what he did with my mama, right? Like, he didn't talk about the sexual positions. He didn't talk about his early teenage life and what he did. And so, like, I think there are certain conversations that shouldn't happen until your family members are past the age of 18. And other conversations that should never happen with your family, right? And so, no, I don't believe that I'm a hypocrite. I simply believe that it's inappropriate to talk about those things. And it's not just that. It's, like, for instance, I like watching violent films. That doesn't mean that I'm going to show my 5-year-old son a violent movie. You know? It's not hypocrisy, it's just that he's not ready for it. You're so sick of the AI slop? Yeah, succubies aren't furries. Look, I'm improving, okay? Like, I tried to better myself, I got help, and I didn't get, like, full across the spectrum to the point where I'm pious. But at least, you know, I moved from furries to succubies. Like, come on, give me a break. At least I tried. SRC Maker doesn't disagree with me. She says that the AI did. Bro, that is hypocrisy? I don't think it's hypocrisy, though. I think it's, like, part of being a parent. Like, obviously, there are certain things your kid can't do, and you can. Okay, so, like, let me get this straight. Let's assume that it is hypocrisy, right? If you're driving a car, and your 10-year-old son wants to be at the wheel, and you say, well, no, son, you can't drive. And your kid goes like, but why, daddy? You're driving. He's like, you can't drive, right? Is that hypocrisy because I don't want my son to drive? Now, I'm not saying, like, he shouldn't drive ever. What I am saying, however, is that it's not the time. As for, you know, like, people making video games, like adult games or something, it's like, well, if my son is 16, yes, I'm going to be upset. But after he is 18, I will consider that my duty as a parent has been fulfilled. I will make sure that he fucks out from my home and he can do whatever the fuck he wants. I got a different mentality than that of the boomers. It's like, no, like, by the age of 18, I'm going to make sure that he has his own apartment. He starts to learn how to live for himself, and then it's not my problem. Hope he does come back for Christmas, though, right? And that's pretty much that. That's how I view parenting. It's what I wish my parents did when I was younger. Has the 10-year-old got a license? Well, you know, it's a good question. Should a 10-year-old get a license, though? Like, what if a 10-year-old can drive perfectly? There are actually such cases in rural areas. Like, I remember when I was a kid, like, the law wasn't that strong. And there were, like, very young kids, 12, 13-year-old, they could drive a tractor. There was no cop there to stop them. The parents thought it's fine. It is what it is. Yes, apparently Romanians do celebrate Christmas. If my dad started talking about his erotic interests, I would not like it. Exactly, right? Like, that's my point. Like, there are certain topics that are not for the family. It's not just that. Like, there's a lot of other things that I don't think it's appropriate for a father to talk with his son, and vice versa. You know, it depends on the context. It depends on many things. But, like, for instance, I wouldn't like to hear how my dad got into fights when he was younger. You know, like, that's not something that you should talk about. Anyway, to be fair, we can probably solve a quadratic equation, but his son probably can't. Yes, correct. Not yet, but I hope that he will. Do you consider yourself Romanian to be white? Look, if you put me on an assembly line at a police station, and you're going to be asked which one of these people are white, you won't be able to tell. The concept of whiteness itself, I think it's an American concept. Like, Europeans never used white before, right? I may be wrong. The Germans used the word Aryan, and that didn't mean white, it meant German. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about the happenings. So, 2 happenings took place. One of them is... Well, actually, 3 happenings took place. I just noticed a third one. Now I don't know which one to talk about first. All right. Let's talk about the one that I wanted to talk about. VPN ban. Right. So they're considering now to force VPNs to ask people to show ID before using them, and that's like completely defeating the purpose of why anyone would want a VPN. Well, actually, it's not the entire purpose, because the second one would be for security. But from the perspective of internet anonymity, if you needed VPNs to show ID, well, there goes your anonymity. Now, I love the fact that people believe that this can't be enforced, right? It's like, well, how are you going to find that VPN? It's like, dude, like, the government is not incompetent. They're just malicious, right? Like, the government is very capable at doing what the government needs to do. Like, look at the politicians, right? Look how wealthy they are. Like, they must be doing something right if they're so fucking rich. I looked at the Romanian politicians. Like, they created money from thin air. Like, literally, they said, yeah, we're going to tax small companies 15% more. And literally, they just signed the paper, and they created money. Now they were talking, look how much money we're having, and I have to pay more taxes, right? Like fucking magicians. I can't do that shit, right? Like, that's not incompetence. That's a sign of extreme competence. Like, they literally took away my cash just like that. Why? Because they wanted to, right? Like, they can show you they can do things. And so if they want a VPN to come up with a mandatory ID check, it's going to happen. Now, the question is, how is it going to happen? Well, very simple. They will simply tell the company that makes the VPNs that they don't care how they do it, but like any person using their VPNs have to go through the age verification. And if it doesn't happen, they get fined $25,000 or 10% of their entire global revenue. Which one is higher? And we're going to see that all the companies all of a sudden comply. If they don't comply, they get the payment processors terminating them, because now they can just say, well, you're operating outside the law. You're doing illegal activity. So like the payment processors, they can now cut the payment with you. And there's that, you know? And so, sure, maybe there will be some VPN companies that are very small and will still operate. But like the large ones will comply. SRC Maker, I'm going to give you a heart on your recent super chat. Did you stop for a second to realize my AI knows you are making a hentai game? She knows a ton of shit. No, I don't really... Like, look, I'm not a person that's looking at your AI and treating it with some level of mystique. Like, I treat it as if it's a different entity. It's like, no, I know exactly what it is, and I know exactly how it knows. The reason it knows is because the latest model of Gemini that you're using, 2.5, actually looks at your other chats, right? So, like, it actually knows what you've talked with it before. So if you already mentioned that, it knows. It has a memory. It saves stuff now. And so, like, there are, like, a couple of things that the AI thinks you believe that are important, such as your relationships, your friends, your activities, and they put them in a memory box. And so it knows. So, will Europe be able to censor me too? Or only my own country, which is America? That's a great question, because this was the second thing that I wanted to talk about, the second happening. And that is the fact that 4chan is currently trying to figure out your question. So, 4chan was actually given a warning by Keir Starmer from Britain. And they were pretty much told that give me a second. They were basically told that they have to censor their website, or else they will risk a $20,000 fine. Now the interesting thing about it is that I know 4chan already told British people to go fuck themselves. Now, for those of you who don't know, like 4chan is a very old website on the internet with a lot of prestige. It has been there for like 20 years now, right? Like, it's from what, like from 2000, early 2000s? Or back then you had like the something awful forum, right? And like after that you had 4chan. Regardless, it's more than 10 years old, right? Like, come on, you know, like if something worked for so long, it's fucking tradition at this point. Like, it's part of the internet. Sure, it's the more nefarious website and it has its problems, but like lately they did try to clean themselves up, right? Like there is moderation on 4chan. It's kind of like Reddit used to be in 2018. Like it's not the wasteland it used to be. And so going after 4chan is a problem because you have British people that have their little island, and if they want to have their mental illness on their little island, that's fine. But like apparently they want to express their mental illness to the point where no website on planet Earth, on the, like humanity should not be able to create another website like 4chan because Britain doesn't like it. Now they don't have a problem with the content there, although I do think they do. What they have a problem is that people don't dox themselves when they use 4chan. Like, that's their issue, right? Like, they want the mandatory age verification on 4chan. And 4chan is basically telling them, like, look, we're in the US. Okay? Like, we're not in the UK. We don't have servers in the UK. We don't have staff in the UK. Like, at this point, they respect China more. And I have to say, like, between China and the UK, I'm starting to like China. Starting to like China. Why? Because, well, China censors, right? Like, China is a brutal regime. They censor you for shit. Like, talking about the Tiananmen Square, or saying that Chairman Z is Winnie the Pooh. China doesn't like that. But you know what? China has the fucking basic human decency, even though they're communists, to only enforce their laws in fucking China or to their Chinese citizens, right? Like, I don't have to give a shit about what Chairman Z wants, and I don't have to give a shit about the Tiananmen Square thing. But Britain, like, wants me personally to, allow them to see what's in my iPhone, to allow my wife to see what's in her iPhone. I'm not kidding. Like, they actually asked Apple to allow the government to have a back door into Apple. So, like, it's not like they find someone that did something bad. No, that's not how it works anymore. What they want is to be able to go without a court order, to go without a police, investigation, to just say, like, okay, let's see what V is doing today. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but that's unacceptable. It's insulting. That's what it is. Like, people from 10 years ago would have called that wiretapping. And the reason it's insulting is because you're assuming every single citizen is a criminal unless they prove to you otherwise. And so, like, they're basically asking 4chan to comply with Ofcom. And apparently, according to press reports, the UK Office of Communication has issued a provisional notice under the Online Safety Act alleging a contravention by 4chan and indicting an intention to impose a penalty of $20,000 plus daily penalties thereafter. 4chan is a US company incorporated in Delaware. I mean, like, look, it's like the most prestigious place in America. They gifted America one of the strongest presidents in my lifetime, Joe Biden. I like Joe Biden. You know, like, during Joe Biden, 4chan wasn't censored. Like, UK, you gotta go fuck yourself. Like, if you are being worse than Joe Biden's mandate, right? Like, Joe Biden didn't censor 4chan, UK is trying to. That tells me all I need to know. With no establishment assets or operations in the UK, any attempt to impose or enforce a penalty against 4chan will be resisted by the US federal court. American businesses do not surrender their First Amendment rights because a foreign bureaucrat sends them an email. Under central principle of US law, American courts will not enforce foreign penal fines or censorship codes. If necessary, we will seek appropriate relief in U.S. federal court to confirm these principles. U.S. federal authorities have briefed us on this matter. The Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer, was repeatedly warned by the White House to cease targeting Americans with the UK censorship code. Despite these warnings, Ofcom continues its illegal campaign of harassment against American technology firms. A political solution to this matter is urgently requiring that any solution must come from the highest levels of American government. We call on the Trump administration to invoke all diplomatic and legal levers available to the United States to protect American companies from extraterrestrial censorship mandates. Our client reserves our rights. Well, here's the thing, right? This is why it's not about child safety, and this is why it's not about protecting British people. Because if it was, Britain could just region block 4chan, right? Like, like if it's a website so dangerous, like there's nothing stopping the British government from saying, okay, all of our ISPs operating in Britain, you gotta block 4chan. Do you know who did that? Brazil. Brazil did that with Twitter, right? Like Brazil said, Elon Musk, you're going to go fuck yourself. We're going to block Twitter in Brazil. And they did, right? But they didn't try to block Twitter in the world. They didn't try to like find Twitter unless it complies with Brazilian legislations. No, they just said, you're not allowed to have Twitter in Brazil. And so that's different. That's still awful in my opinion, but it is what it is. I'm not a Brazilian. I don't give a shit. Where. Right? And so what the UK is trying to do is they're basically trying to say, no, we have the authority to police the internet of mankind. Like on any nation, in any state, in any country, in any place you are, if you have a website that we don't like, we can send some British people over there in order to say that we have a British presence, and now you need to comply with Ofcom. Mr. Personality, thank you for the $5. The majority of Tor nodes are owned by the FBI. They know everything that goes on in 4chan. I'm pretty sure they do. Like, I'm not talking about 4chan. It's the principle, right? It's the idea of what they're trying to do. They're trying to be so overt with their surveillance that for people that actually love democracy and enjoy the country that their parents gifted to them is absolutely appalling. Like, I'm sorry, but I didn't grow up in a British hellhole, and I don't want to live through it like that, and I don't want my son to grow up in a surveillance state either. Will Europe be able to censor me too? I already read your super chat, and the answer is yes. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. All right, I didn't do a Hassan Piquer. You must know that the US and British MI6 have an agreement to share intelligence gathered on each other's citizens. Yeah, sure. No, it is what it is, but like I don't want them to keep expanding. You know, like that's the problem. From what I noticed, like as technology advances, the censorship becomes worse and worse, and it never just stops. It never just says, all right, well, we're fine with the level of censorship we have. We're fine with the level of surveillance we have. We have to stop here. The only way it can stop is if people start being upset about it. But if you keep having like a stiff upper lip. Anyway, right. So like this was the second thing. Now the third happening, there's another happening. The third happening is with Rylex. This person, which is in the club with the SRC maker, apparently they're trans. Now, I didn't know they're trans until people told me. Apparently, if you complain about what they did, it's because you're transphobic, right? So, like, this is how SRC maker can filter out the transphobes in their life. You show them gameplay footage of Rylex playing Battlefield 6. And if people say that is cheating, they're transphobic, right? Because like that's the only reason that anyone can come to the conclusion that this person is a cheater. All right, so like let me recap, bring you up to speed in case you're unaware with the controversy. There's this Twitch streamer, which apparently is a cat boy or a cat girl, I don't know, VTuber. All right, and they play Battlefield 6. Now, they were insanely good at it, like really, really good at it. To the point where people are saying, dude, that's cheating. Because, like, a lot of the shots, a lot of the stuff that they did is pretty much insane. And so, like, there's a debate now. Were they cheating or weren't they? Well, it turns out that most people that are, like, either average individual normies or people that actually work in companies that make anti-cheating software, or even people from the company, from the mod team that make cheating software are saying in unison, yes, they're cheating. On the other hand, you have trans people, and you also have the pros, like the gamer pros, saying they're not cheating. And they're also saying that the only reason people are picking on this person is because they're trans. Now here's my question, right? Because I think like someone told me that harmful opinion said, well, they may not be cheating. Okay, first of all, like when it comes to cheating, there's no way of knowing for sure. Like you can't know 100%. But like I watched the videos. Like give me a fucking break. They're cheating. Now, let's assume they're not. Okay. Why are the pros trying to recruit this person then? Like because no, seriously, like they're phenomenally good, and they're not on any pro team. And so, like, if you're a pro person and you genuinely think that, wow, like, holy shit, this person is not cheating, why aren't you bringing them on your team? Huh? Are you transphobic? You don't want trans people on your team? So anyway, they're becoming one of the Twitch biggest Battlefield 6 streamer after the accusations. Her, see that's SRC Maker? Her peak viewership prior to coming under fire on social media was 290. That pick has quadrupled to 1,500 viewers. Easily one of the top 1% Battlefield 6 streamers. What's more, high-level players across several shooters have come out to defend her and explain that her aim was very likely real, with snaps being attributed to good map awareness. Again, like a lot of people are saying that, yeah, like this person, it's amazing. Yeah, sure. But they don't want her on the team. I don't see sponsors ganging up. And I don't see the person, like, being, okay, well, maybe, you know, I want to go professional. Sure, you know, like, the pros don't want her on the team. Why isn't she starting a pro team, then? I mean, she's so fucking good, right? Like, all she needs is, like, a couple more people, form a squad, and there you fucking go. The sponsors are definitely going to start pouring in. Despite the massive amount of scrutiny against her and a ban from Twitch, Riley has come back stronger than ever. What started as a huge controversy has turned into a potential career-defining moment. I've been around the AIM community for 5 years. They're not cheating. Okay, well, why is it in your team then? Huh? The most locked-in cat girl you'll ever see on Battlefield 6. Okay, let's watch the video. Let's see if they're cheating or not. You know, this reminds me when I was a kid, conversations about wrestling, right? Like it was, some people were saying wrestling is fake. Other people were saying it's not. And people would get violent in high school. Tensions were high, you know? Like, if you said the wrong thing, you were in the wrong camp.
Did follow me in Delta Force era. That was so long ago.
Okay, so, hold on.
So long ago. Oh my...
This was map awareness.
Oh my god, what the fuck? That was nuts! Wow,
there's no fucking way. Okay, so like, hold on, let's play it on playback speed 0.25, right? So they're fighting at this guy. Come on, like, dude, you can't even see them. They're shrubbery. They're like fucking shrubbery. And not only that, like the crosshair like literally goes.
That was nuts.
Okay, bam, 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 bam. Right? Why is the crosshair literally on the person? Like it's not even in the general area. Like wouldn't the normal person at least try to look what's here? And they're fighting like through the wall, right? There's no way of knowing there was a guy there.
Wow, I flew straight at that guy through the wall. Oopsie.
Yeah, whoopsie.
How are you getting 240 FPS? Good computer.
Okay, hold on. Let's look at this again. So, okay, fine. Like I'll take this. This one is okay, right? Wouldn't it make sense to fire at this guy first? Cause like you actually see this guy. Or never mind, he actually sees this one too. All right, fine. This one's legit. I mean, well, legit in the sense that if I see this, I will be like, okay, that's fine. But the previous one, definitely not.
How much of this game have you played, though? Hey, teammate. Whoa! So I just got a free Abyssal Dagger.
That's so insane.
Oh
Feels
my.
like this gun is gas.
I think the reason that people are like confused whether they're cheating or not is because like some of these actually look legit. Like some of these like look okay, maybe they're a good player, but other of them are so unbelievably bullshit.
Oh my god, I'm crying. What the fuck?
Like the one where they
do this,
kill the
you
guy
don't
through
really
the
need
wall.
It's
True.
nothing. I'm telling you.
Okay, so you had 2,000 viewers and you're calling me famous. No way! I just lost the nutty
Yeah, that one's
bloom.
bullshit. That one is 100% bullshit. Anyway. Apparently now they're famous. They got 1,500 1,500 people there, and anyone that disagrees that that's not legit is because they're transphobic. Holy shit! Hero in Penguin 666. Thank you for the 100 Czechoslovakians, right? Here's some real money. Please talk about the EID vote in Switzerland on the 29th to 2025 in a video. Sure, I mean, I can talk about it, but like, take into account that at this point it just doesn't matter because you have Australia, Canada, the United States, the European Union, I think New Zealand as well, Philippines, and now Switzerland, right? And so like all of these countries want to pass this type of legislation. Now I'm wondering, okay, let's say 4chan just tells everyone to fuck off, right? Are they going to get fined by all of these nations? It's quite concerning, isn't it? Is it Czechoslovakian money and Swiss? No, it's Czechoslovakian. I actually had like a fellow subscriber. She was a woman, right? Like a lady. And she added me on Steam just to correct me. Just to correct me and say that Czechoslovakia is not a thing. And the funny thing is, like, she was acting like the type of girl that you see in university that's like, you know, she's a woman and you're just a simp. And, like, she's not going to give you attention. She just came in, like, flicking her hair. It's like, it's not Czechoslovakia. It's Slovakia, you know? And then when you message her, it's like, what do you want? You know, like, that type of thing. I thought it hilarious. Like, it was unbelievably funny. But I was like, you do realize that if every single time I say Czechoslovakia, a gamer girl adds me in her Steam, like, I will have to say it more often. It's like, not because, like, I think that there's going to be anything between you and I, mind you. But it's just because I can go to other guys as street cred. It's like, look how many bitches I have in my Steam list. Right? Like, it just raises me social cred because you're around my area. You're in my orbit. And I can go to other men and be like, look how many bitches I got in my Steam accounts. Huh? Anyway. And Ashley, they have a name for that? Ashley? But anyway, right, I can see why Mr. Hero in Penguin is upset about the situation. The thing is, though, Switzerland is actually more interesting in this than you'd think. Like, it's one thing if Australia spurgs out at you. It's another thing if Switzerland spurgs out at you. Because, like, Switzerland has the fucking banks. They're like the Israel of Europe. Like, I'm sorry, but it's true. And if they fuck with you, right, like, as a company, you're done. You know, they have connections. They can pick up the phone and call Netanyahu. I think, like, Switzerland is actually one of the nations that isn't a member of the International Criminal Court. So, like, technically Netanyahu can land there safely. Where did Mr. Penguin go? Because, like, I need to know. I need to know if what I'm saying is true or not. Switzerland sells VPN stuff as well. Well, they're kind of like in World War II, right? Like they selling weapons to the Allies and the Axis. Did you know that Switzerland actually shot down a lot of plane in World War II? I think like they shot down more Ally plane as well. Like back in the day, they didn't have like the technology we do now to be able to fly with certainty, and so like everything that flew over Switzerland got the airstrike. That they had the prisoners from the Allies and the Axis in the same jail, because like they would fire at the planes and the people would parachute and then they would arrest them. A lot of people don't know anything about that. And if I'm not mistaken, they also invaded a nation by mistake recently. Like they had some military drills. And they actually invaded a village. Not once, but twice. I think the people from that village may be upset. Was it like Norway? Hold on, let me see what Switzerland invaded. Because like they invaded like a little country twice. Switzerland accidentally invaded. Oh yeah, like 3 times. 3 times Switzerland accidentally invaded its neighbor. On every map of the European Union, there's a gray blob in the middle. Apparently that's Switzerland. It's kind of like the city of London, eh? They maintain neutrality during both world wars. They don't really care to join the EU, but are a part of the Schengen area because meh. And even their citizens share the same whatever mentality. Okay. December 1985 is when the tragedy happened. The first time it was probably the only aggressive incident. During an artillery exercise, the Swiss army has launched munitions in the middle of a winter storm. Instead of landing on the designated target, the munition bombarded Liechtenstein. Right? So like they shelled Liechtenstein. No one was injured, and the Swiss paid several millions in francs to compensate for the damage. The second time in 1999, the second invasion was of Liechtenstein was by 2 Swiss recruits. They were given written orders to establish an observation post and set up perimeter in Trisberg. And they followed their orders to a T. The problem is that Trisberg isn't in Switzerland. The third one, it was in 2007. A raid in March night. 171 Swiss troops were training near the border. And the company commander took his men through the Alpine forest near the border, leading his men in about 2 kilometers into Liechtenstein before he realized that he caused an international incident. Everything would have been forgotten if the Swiss armed forces hadn't apologized for it. Liechtenstein had no idea it even happened, but accepted the apology nonetheless. So, in reality, there could have been more than 3 times. We just don't know it yet. Because, like, if that's the way you put it, and then Switzerland is like, oh, so like you didn't know? Okay, well, next time we're not going to tell you. But yeah. Switzerland are not in the EU, but they apply a lot of EU shit. A lot of nations do that. Isn't it fascinating, right? Like, look at Britain. They finally got Brexit, and what do? They apply EU shit. In case of conflict, Swiss troops would be the only guys able to defend Liechtenstein. How do you know? What if Liechtenstein manages to buy mercenaries? Huh? How big is Liechtenstein anyway? Do you know, like, okay, I'll tell you this. I can't point Liechtenstein on a map. Like, I'm a European, and even I, you know, like, I usually make this joke with other people. It's like, oh, well, it's shameful for a European to not be able to point to all the, like, okay, where's Liechtenstein? Because I can point to Italy, Romania, Hungary, Germany, UK, France, Austria, but like Liechtenstein. So fucking tiny, dude. Like, okay, you need to zoom in. Like, I'm sorry, but if your nation requires me to zoom in order to see it, and at this point, it's like, okay, if you're like this microstate, why would you need defense? Like who bothers with you? Like the logistics alone to conquer you is not worth it. Like, no wonder like they don't have military. They need like the Switzerland boys, because it's like it's nothing there. Like what? Do they have a street and a crossroad and that's it? Like, oh, well, best buy some tanks. Yeah, tax haven. I mean nation state, yes. Northeast of Switzerland? You lied to me, motherfucker. It's not northeast. Hold on. No, holy shit, you were right. How did you know? How did you know that story? No, wait. It's not northeast. It's just east. Like, this is east. Like, northeast would be where Germany is. I've been gaslit. I've been fucking gaslit. Right, okay. Wait, Luxembourg is bigger? I thought Luxembourg is the smallest. Okay, so Liechtenstein. Alright, fine. Yeah, I'm starting to think, yeah, this is more of a tax haven rather than a state. It's like, it's interesting to go into history and see, like, how the fuck did they manage? How the fuck they managed to not be part of any of their neighbors? Anyway, right, let's talk about the thing that you guys came here to talk about, which is the British police, right? Like, the British police have decided to pose as joggers. They were jogging! See, you shouldn't do this in America. That's a racist incident willing to happen. Now, I'll tell you this, okay? Look, if you're a British person, okay, and you wolf whistled at this lady, you deserve to be locked up. Like, you deserve, like, if you see this lady on the street and you as a man decide in your infinite wisdom to wolf whistle, you deserve to be locked up. See, Sargon, this is how you make the joke. Like, now no one can complain, because I made the joke with such subtlety that, like, no one can say anything. Like, what? Like, oh, so you want the man to wolf whistle? No. Like, listen, if you wolf whistle to this lady, you deserve to be locked up. Look how smug they are. My fucking God, you know, just a day in the work of a police officer in the knife capital of the world. Undercover police officer posted as joggers. Look, I can't read this. I can't read this because I'm thinking black people. Like, why? This is 4chan's doing. This is what the UK is trying to do right now. They're trying to shut down the source of evil. See, like, when I read joggers, I think of black people because of 4chan. Shirley police sent 2 undercover officers out jogging. No, because now I'm thinking that they were wearing blackface. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, chat. But this is like what the press did with their censorship. Like, they changed the human language. And now that I'm reading this, I'm thinking, like, okay, well, hold on. It's not black people. It's actual jog. Okay, right. So they jogged during the rush hours to show the level of catcalling female joggers received. Oh, goodness gracious. These behaviors may not be criminal offenses in themselves, but they need to be addressed. Yeah, I'll tell you what they're doing, okay? What they are doing is that in Britain, you actually do have a problem with sexual assaults, right? And so by classifying wolf whistling as sexual assault, you now have the opportunity as an officer to get arrests, right? So, like, you're arresting, your statistics go up because you put bad people behind bars. They don't arrest cases. They have statistics, okay? And so you have, like, this officer, and she can be like, okay, she's got 45 arrests. And you think, holy shit, like, she's keeping the streets safe, right? But she's not going to go with the cartels where the gangs are. She's not going to go into the dangerous neighborhood where human trafficking actually happens. Because those are sexual assaults, right? But not all sexual assaults are the same. And so she's going to go after the wolf whistlers. Right? It's a lot easier to crack down on those. On the paper, it looks the same because it's under the umbrella of sexual assault. Like, no one is going to zoom in and ask more questions. You can't really debate it because, like, well, I mean, those people have to get off the streets, right? So the approach was designed to protect women and girls in public places, of course, right? So now the police have done their job. They have protected women and girls in public places. Not in Bristol, mind you. Not in the dangerous places in London. No. In the most posh area imaginable, right? Like, if you want to be a woman or a girl in the United Kingdom and be protected, you have to live in the posh area. And then these 2 officers are going to protect you. If you happen to live in Birmingham, tough shit. You lost the lottery. What can I say? Someone slowing down, staring, shouting. Okay, so, like, even staring, right? Like, you if these ladies walk next to you and you just stop and you stare and you're like, wow. Those are some fine police officers. Like, look how many convictions they got. Well, you just committed the crime. Staring, right? Even if it's not always criminal, it can have a huge impact on people's everyday life. Only the government is allowed to have a huge impact on your life. Only they can pass Ofcom. We get catcalled. We get honked. Oh, goodness gracious. People slow down just to stare. The rise of violence against women and girls is real. Well, maybe tell other women and girls to stop doing violence against each other, because I'm not doing it. My friends aren't doing it. So, like, if someone is doing it, if you claim it's being done, it must be other women and girls. But what I like the most is the buzzwords, right? It's almost like a copy-paste thing where they say, this is what women have to face in every day of their lives. Like, I have heard this expression over 1 million times by now. It's like, can you not at least, like, change it a little bit? You know, like, if you're going to copy each other's homework. But yeah, basically, the reason they're doing this is to inflate the statistics, right? And to show that police officers are competent and they're doing their job while other criminals actually get to continue doing crime. Nick Yak, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate that. And welcome to the show, Monkey. It certainly gives an incentive to get a better job. I want to live in an area that's actually policed. Yes, right? Like, you need to start learning the meta. Problem is with the bait. They are way too old. Well, apparently not old enough. Like, British people are so fucking desperate that they started catcalling these ladies. And, like, not only that, but, like, one of them has tattoos. Like, look, all I'm saying is that if you're a self-respecting man, you need to understand that your body is your temple. If she's defiling her temple, what else is she going to defile? Imagine catcalling a woman that has tattoos. Jesus. And not to mention, like, I'm more of a gender stereotypist myself. I'm not saying all tattoos are bad. But, like, if you're a woman, you shouldn't have a tattoo like your Popeye the Sailor Man. Like, if you put the tattoo, right, as a woman, don't put it on your fucking armpit. Have a nice tattoo on your waist or your hip. A womb tattoo, you know? Like, there are other things. It's like, oh, come on. No, mate. No, mate. You're wrong. You're wrong. Like, seriously, like, does it turn you on to see a woman with a tattoo on her biceps like she's Popeye? You'll soon be arrested for not catcalling in the UK. Do you think, like, women with hijabs have tattoos under the hijab? Huh? How can you know? How can you tell? There is no tell. Yeah, womb tattoos are based. That's what she needs to have. Anyway. I swear, women do shit like this and then go, why does no man want to look at me? Do you know that Jessica Valenti, like, she was a journalist in The Guardian and she wrote exactly that. Like, first she writes an article attacking people that catcall, and then she writes another article 2 years later saying that she misses getting catcalled. And I'm like, oh, Jessica, what have you done? To be fair, you know, I'm not going to comment much on tattoos, but, like, the nose piercing. The nose piercing is something that I don't understand. And what's even worse than the nose piercing, well, what even manages to become worse than that, is the surgery where they take away the fat from the cheek. Like, that one, just, no. My wife actually asked me once in a joke, because she heard the case on Reddit, and it's like, would you divorce me if I get that? And I was, yes. No, absolutely. And she was like, oh, how can you say that? It's like, well, if I would have a surgery to make me look like Tyrion Lannister, would you not divorce me? And then she understood. She was like, yeah, okay, V, no, you got a point. No, I understand. Yeah. Anyway. Clit piercings, do those exist? Wouldn't they be painful as fuck? Regardless, chat, before we can delve into the mystery of the clit piercings, I have to go, because it's been an hour. You know, you guys were wonderful. You were lovely. I thank you for the super chats. I know that you want to keep me here a little bit longer, but unfortunately, this show is 1 hour long. Not 2 hours, not 50 minutes, just exactly 1 hour. And so, I will stop here. Nipple piercings? Again, like, I don't understand. Like, the level of pain that you need to go through versus the reward. It's just, it is what it is. Anyway, chat, thank you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Very important for the algorithm. If you haven't already, please do so. And I will see you tomorrow. Take care.